Hi everyone. Today we're gonna focus on how to build muscle, or more specifically what not to do when you're trying to build muscle. Oftentimes what you don't do is just as important as what you do. I'm going to give you the top 10 tips to pack on some serious mass. So number 1 tip is avoid showing off in the gym. You know what I'm talking about. You're with your friends in the gym and you want to show off. You want to impress your buddies. But listen to me. It's not worth it going for that 1 rep max and tearing your pec trying to do it. Also, ego lifting is dumb because you're only setting yourself up for injuries. And when you're injured, you can't train and you can't build muscle. So there is no point in showing off. You're just make yourself ridiculous. If you're a power lifter and you're training for competition, that's another thing. But as a regular lifter, you don't want to load up more weight than you can handle. Also, you do not need to go for 1 rep max to build muscle. It's not safe, and let's face it, how much muscle are you going to be gaining when you can't even train in the first place? Instead, use moderately heavy weights for more repetitions is not only safer, but it's gonna give you the time under tension, which is the main component you need to build muscle. Second tip, get your sleep. You don't go at bed at midnight and wake up at 5 to do some push-up or train like Rocky. Sleep is fundamental. Your muscles grow when you rest. You need to get proper recovery. Also, if you don't sleep enough, first you won't recover, second you can't train as hard as normal, so you're losing possibilities to grow muscle. So sleep enough. The amount of hours you need can differ from people to people. However, a minimum of 7 hours is the least amount you should get every night. So, go to bed earlier. Also, if you have trouble sleeping, try using melatonin or any sleep aid. Avoid using your smartphone in bed, because it's proven that using smartphones or watching TV right before going to bed can make it harder to fall asleep. Number 3, be careful with the amount of cardio you're doing. When you do cardio, you're working out your muscle, so they need to recover, especially if you do hit cardio. If you can't recover from your cardio, you won't be able to train properly with weights because you'll be still sore. So, while cardio is important, I personally suggest you to do steady state cardio, which is easier and also you can recover faster. Also, do your cardio after lifting weights, not before, otherwise you're going to be tired when you're hitting the gym and you can't push yourself harder. If you want to do your cardio before going to the gym, you should do it at least 8 to 10 hours earlier, especially if your cardio is moderate to intense, in order to get enough time to recover. However, I suggest you to always do your cardio, at least 150 minutes a week of moderate cardio, in order to prevent cardiovascular disease. Although you may lose some muscle gains, I prefer to live longer and healthier. But that's your choice. If you want to maximize gains, you should avoid cardio. Number 4 is stop partying hard. If you get drunk at every party and you overeat, the next day you won't be able to exercise. You will feel sick, and so you're leaving on the table serious gains. I'm not saying you can't go out, you can't drink, and you can't have fun. But I'm saying have fun in moderation. A rule of thumb is that the day after a party, you should still feel able to train as normal. If you can't train, then you went too hard on partying. Number 5 is not eating enough protein to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Also, you should spread your meals in 4 to 5 occasions a week. This frequency is proven to be optimal to put the most amount of muscle. Also remember to eat at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. If you're bulking, you can lower that amount because you are eating more carbs and fats, which have a protein-sparing effect, so you need less protein to build muscle. Instead, when cutting, you should get 1 gram of protein in order to preserve your lean body mass. In fact, when you're cutting, some of that protein is being used for energy. If you're bulking, the protein that you are eating is all going to be used to build. Make sure that every meal has at least 20 to 30 grams of protein, so it's enough to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Tip number 6. Push hard during your workout. Most of the people who goes to the gym don't train hard enough. They spend their time chatting, taking selfies in front of the mirror, and they lift light weights. That's the perfect way not to grow muscle. You need to train hard and progressive overload. Otherwise your muscles won't grow. They need stimulus to grow, and you provide it by training hard and pushing yourself. If you're a beginner, you don't need to push too hard. Because of the newbie gains, you'll add muscle really fast. So in this phase, it is more important to focus on your form, learning how to perform exercise correctly. But if you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, you need to push harder, you need to use intensity technique, and you need to go to failure and beyond when exercising. That's progressive overload. Intensity and volume are necessary to grow. If you don't add more intensity or add more volume, you can't expect your muscle to grow. You're not providing a stimulus to grow. A good rule of thumb: if you're not making gains and you're not sore, train harder. If you are sore, go easier. Tip number 7. Don't starve yourself. You need enough energy to train harder. If you can't train harder than last time because you're not eating enough, you're not making the gains. You don't need to stuff yourself with food trying to bulk. You don't need it. The extra weight, it's just fat, not muscle. Instead, eat at maintenance or with a slight surplus, 100 to 200 calories per day, in order to slowly add weight while stay at the same fat percentage. Let's move to tip number 8. Do your stretching at the end of your workout. Don't forget it. It's very important, first for your flexibility, but also because it will help you preventing injuries. Don't stretch before working out. You don't need it. Instead, do 10 minutes of cardio, just to warm up your muscle and avoid injuries because you're lifting heavy. If you don't stretch, you might end up with improper biomechanics during your lifting, and if you continue to lift improperly, the body is going to adapt to that by compensating, and that compensation can lead to long-term chronic injuries. Tip number 9. Use supplements. Supplements are going to help you building muscle, enhance your recovery. So, while they are not necessary, they can be useful for speed muscle growth. In my opinion, the best natural supplements to use are creatine and beta-alanine. Also, you can have pre-workout, but it's not necessary. If you like having a pre-workout, then use it. But I suggest you to avoid the ones containing caffeine if you train in the evening, so it doesn't mess up your sleep. If you want, I can make a specific videos on supplements, so let me know in the comment. And last tip, this is more like a bonus, not a real tip, is to enjoy yourself. You have to go to the gym because you feel it funny, because you enjoy the sensation of pushing hard and challenge yourself trying to going every time a little bit harder. So, find something you enjoy doing. You don't like just lifting weights in the gym, then try CrossFit. You like racing bikes, then focus your training on getting stronger legs to help you on the bike. You should find a routine you enjoy. That's the best way to grow your muscle. If you like what you're doing, you'll do it giving out everything. If you don't like it, you will never push hard enough. Hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share it with your friends. See you on the next one.